There are moments in life where you stop and wonder, am I the only one seeing this? Not just what's in front of you, but what's behind it, the layers, the energies, the dimensions, the invisible threads that seem to move everything. You feel it when you walk into a room. You sense it when someone speaks, but their words don't match the vibration. You feel time bend, loop, stretch, and sometimes you feel like you're living in two realities or more at once. If that resonates with you, I need you to hear this. You are not broken. You are not imagining it. You are not too sensitive. You are chosen. And what you are experiencing is not madness. It is multidimensional awareness. This is not something you chose casually. This is something your soul agreed to before you were born.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
To come into this world not as a spectator but as a bridge, a translator of realms, a weaver of timelines, a living key to unlock what most people cannot even perceive. But of course, no one told you that growing up. Instead, you likely felt out of place, like you were walking through a dream where everyone else was convinced it was real. You saw through illusions others called truth. You sensed energies no one else acknowledged, and perhaps the most painful part, you questioned your own sanity because no one could confirm what you knew deep down. Let me tell you a story. I was once in a monastery in northern Thailand. I had been meditating for 7 days straight, no speaking, no distractions, just breath, silence, and presence. On the 5th night, I felt reality split. I was no longer just sitting in that room, I was in 3 places at once. I was watching myself from above, I was in the room, and I was in a void where time didn't exist. And in that void, I heard a voice, not with ears, but with my soul. You are not here to choose a single path, you are here to walk them all. That moment changed everything, because I realized that my ability to feel multiple layers of reality wasn't a glitch. It was my gift. And if you're still watching, still listening, it's likely yours too. So let's go deeper. What does it mean to feel multiple realities at once? It means you can sense what's happening in the room and what's happening beneath the surface. You can be in a conversation and feel what the other person is not saying. You can be grounded in the present moment while simultaneously feeling the echo of the past and the potential of the future. Sometimes it's subtle, a déjà vu here, a dream that comes true there. Other times it's overwhelming, visions, spontaneous insights, emotional waves that don't belong to you. You might even feel like you're living 2 lives. One that everyone sees and one that only you experience. And here's the kicker, both are real. You see, reality is not a fixed thing. It's layered, like frequencies on a radio. Most people are tuned into one station, but you're hearing multiple channels at once, and that can be both a gift and a burden. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like you're living in a dream while fully awake? As if something far more real is happening just beyond the veil of what we call normal? That's not imagination, that's perception. And perception, true multidimensional perception, is the mark of a chosen one. But let's define what that really means. Being chosen doesn't mean you're better. It means you've been entrusted. with vision, with sensitivity, with the ability to hold paradox, the ability to live in mystery without needing to resolve it. Chosen ones don't fit into systems. We're here to rewrite them. We don't just follow paths, we forge them. We don't just believe what we're told, we remember what we've always known. And this remembrance comes with a cost. Because when you see beyond the veil, you can no longer pretend, you can no longer numb, you can no longer play small. The truth, your truth, demands to be lived. But truth is not always convenient. It isolates you. It challenges you. It asks you to stand alone when everyone else is still asleep. And yet, the deeper you go, the more you realize you were never alone. You were simply early. You are a forerunner, a frequency holder, a bridge between dimensions. And to fulfill this role, you must understand how to navigate these layered realities without losing yourself in them. So here's what we need to explore. How do we walk between worlds and still stay grounded? Because if you're not rooted, your gift can turn into overwhelm. Here are 3 foundational principles that every multidimensional empath, every chosen one, must master. 1. Discernment of energy. When you feel multiple realities, you're constantly receiving input. But not all input is truth. Some is noise, some is projection, some is distortion. You must learn to feel the signal beneath the static. Ask yourself, is this mine? Is this true? Does this expand me or contract me? Your body knows. Your heart knows. Trust that. 2. Tighten your body presence. The more you feel, the more tempted you'll be to escape the body. But your body is your anchor, your temple, your translator between realms. Practice grounding. Touch the earth. Breathe deeply. Move. Dance. Be here, be now, because only when you're fully in your body can you fully hold the vastness of what you perceive. 3. Sacred neutrality. Seeing multiple realities means seeing multiple truths, and that can be confusing. Your mind wants to label right, wrong, good, bad, but your soul knows better. Hold the middle. Be the eye of the storm. Don't rush to judge what you perceive, just witness. That's where your power lies. Because here's the secret. The more you can hold paradox, the more you unlock your true power. You are not here to pick a side. You are here to hold the whole. To see the dark and the light, the shadow and the soul, and still choose love. So let's return to that question. Why do you feel multiple realities at once? Because your presence is needed in all of them. In the present, to anchor clarity. In the past, to heal what others have buried. In the future, to call in what has not yet been born. You are a living bridge. And bridges are not meant to rest, they are meant to connect. But connection without clarity becomes chaos. And that's why your awareness must be matched with wisdom. Which brings us to the most important truth of all. Your gift is not what you see. So if you feel timelines collapsing, if you sense people's emotions before they speak, if your dreams bleed into waking life, if you've ever had an experience so profound you couldn't explain it to anyone, know this: you're not broken. You're tuned in. Now the question becomes, will you trust what you've been given? because the world is full of people who see only what's right in front of them. But you see the unseen. You feel the unspoken. You walk in the invisible, and that is power. But power demands responsibility. So let me leave you with this question. If you could see behind the curtain of reality, would you have the courage to act on what you saw? Because that is the invitation before you now. To no longer hide, to no longer doubt, to no longer shrink. You've been given the rare gift of perception. Now it's time to become the one who lives it. If you've made it this far, you already know you're not here just to witness reality. You're here to shape it. The moment you awaken to the fact that you can feel multiple realities at once, you stepped into a deeper truth. You're not just a sensitive being, you're a timeline architect. Yes, you heard that right. You have the ability, not metaphorically, but energetically, spiritually, and consciously, to influence which version of reality unfolds, not only for yourself, but for everyone connected to your frequency. That's not an egoic claim, that's a sacred responsibility. Because the more you remember who you are, the more you realize that reality itself is fluid, and consciousness is the brush you paint it with. Let's break it down. Every choice you make, every thought you hold, every emotion you dwell in, vibrates. And that vibration doesn't just echo through your life, it ripples into the quantum field, affecting timelines that are waiting to be born. When you feel multiple realities at once, what you're actually sensing are parallel potentials, versions of the future, quantum possibilities, energy patterns forming before they collapse into matter. And the gift you carry, the rare gift, is that you can feel which ones are real. You can feel when something is off, even if everything looks fine on the surface. You can feel when something is about to happen before it happens. You know when the energy of a room, a person, a decision is about to shift, even if no one else can detect it. That's not anxiety. That's your antenna. So let me ask you a question that only a chosen one will understand. Have you ever had to make a decision not based on logic or evidence, but on a subtle, almost invisible knowing that one path would lock you into a low timeline and another would unlock something far more aligned, even though it made no sense to anyone else? If you said yes, you're already doing the work of a timeline architect, but let's go deeper. You see, every timeline is a living field of potential. It holds a vibration, a path, a set of outcomes. And what determines which timeline you inhabit isn't luck, it's frequency. That's why your energy is your greatest currency. Not your money, not your status, not your reputation, your vibration. When you're in alignment, you magnetize the reality that matches your soul. When you're out of alignment, you fall into default timelines, realities built on fear, karma, or collective programming. The key is this: timeline navigation is not about control, it's about coherence. It's about aligning your inner world so powerfully that the outer world rearranges itself around your truth. So how do we do this? How do we, as chosen ones, consciously sculpt reality from the inside out? Let me give you 5 sacred tools that every timeline architect must master. 1. Frequency awareness. You must become hyper-aware of your energetic state. not in a paranoid way, but in a sovereign way. Every thought, every emotion, every word you speak is either stabilizing your current timeline or shifting you into another. Ask yourself, what energy am I feeding right now? Am I feeding fear or faith? Doubt or clarity? Scarcity or abundance? Because your dominant frequency is your timeline anchor. 2. Intuitive decision-making. This is a game changer. Most people make decisions from the mind, but you must learn to make decisions from the field. What does that mean? It means tuning in, not just to what feels good, but what feels true. It means sensing the energetic trajectory of a choice, not just its surface appeal. Sometimes the right path will feel uncomfortable to your ego, but expansive to your soul. That's how you know it's aligned. 3. Emotional transmutation. Emotions are not obstacles, they are portals. When you feel stuck in a low vibration, anger, sadness, fear, you're not failing. You're being given raw material to transmute. Feel it, name it, breathe into it. Then ask, what's the truth beneath this emotion? Often, pain is just power waiting to be reclaimed. When you transmute your emotions, you shift timelines. 4. Embodied visioning. You've heard of visualization, but this is deeper. Don't just see the future, feel it, become it. Embody the version of you that already lives in that timeline. What does their energy feel like? How do they walk, speak, choose, love? Now bring that energy into your now. That's how you collapse the gap between potential and presence. 5. Quantum integrity. This is the secret sauce. Quantum integrity means living in such deep alignment with your soul that the universe has no choice but to respond. It means not saying yes when your soul says no. It means honoring your inner truth even when no one is watching. It means being faithful to your highest self, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Because every time you choose alignment over convenience, you shift timelines. Now, let's talk about something most people don't understand: timeline interference. When you begin to awaken, to walk in your power, to shift reality, you will encounter resistance, not just from people, but from energy fields that want to keep you locked in the old script. You'll feel it as doubt, fatigue, confusion, even sudden emotional storms. Why? Because your light threatens the illusion. You are unplugging from a matrix that depends on your compliance, and when you stop feeding it, it tries to pull you back in with fear, distraction, and distortion. But here's the truth: nothing can stop a soul in alignment. The interference only works if you believe it. So when it comes, don't fight it. Witness it. See it for what it is: a test of resonance. A chance to say, I choose my highest timeline anyway. And that choice, that defiance of fear, that's what makes you unstoppable. But this isn't just about you. This is about legacy. Because when a chosen one shifts timelines, they don't just do it for themselves. They do it for their bloodlines, their communities, their future generations. You are breaking ancestral loops. You are activating dormant codes. You are anchoring realities that didn't exist before you chose them. And that is sacred work. That's why you've felt the weight. the pressure, the intensity, because you are not here to blend in. You are here to birth the new world. And that world is not built through force. It's built through frequency. When you embody the reality you desire, you give permission for others to do the same. You become the living evidence that miracles are not only possible, they are normal. So let me ask you the deepest question of all. If you knew your energy was sculpting reality in real time, what would you stop tolerating? What would you start embodying? What would you release right now without apology? Because your future is not waiting, it's listening. And it's asking, are you ready to become the one who remembers? The one who doesn't just observe reality but creates it? The one who doesn't just survive the storm but becomes the calm within it? The one who doesn't just dream but decides? You are not here to follow the script. You are here to rewrite it. You are not here to choose from the options you've been given. You are here to create new options entirely. That's what it means to be chosen. That's what it means to see multiple realities at once. You are not crazy. You are conscious, and your consciousness is the seed of new worlds. So now the only question that remains is this: will you water it? Because reality is not fixed, it is fluid, and you are the sculptor. You've come this far, and that means you're not just curious, you're remembering. Not from the mind, but from the soul. And what you're remembering now is not just who you are, but what we are. Why we came, what we agreed to, and what we're here to restore. This final part isn't about theory, it's about truth. Truth so ancient it predates language, so sacred it was hidden in myth, so powerful it was buried beneath fear. But now, it's rising, and it's rising through you. Let's begin with this. You are not just a person, you are a quantum soul, a spark of the infinite, encoded with the frequencies of divine intelligence. You are the living memory of worlds beyond this one. You carry within you the codes of harmony, unity, and sacred design. And the reason you feel multiple realities at once is because your soul was never limited to one. You see, the Earth is not just a planet, it's a living library, a multi-dimensional school, a soul-forgiving ground. And right now it is undergoing its greatest shift in thousands of years. We are in a mass awakening, a timeline convergence, a cosmic recalibration, and the chosen ones are the catalysts. But let's be clear, chosen doesn't mean superior, it means activated. It means your soul has reached a level of maturity where you are ready to remember what most of the world has forgotten, that we are not separate, not powerless, not limited. And the moment you begin to remember, your vibration begins to change. And when your vibration shifts, your reality follows. But it doesn't stop there. Your shift begins to ripple through your lineage, your environment, your timeline, your planet. That's how powerful you are. This is what it means to be a quantum soul. You are not bound by linear time. You are healing your past lives through your present choices. You are activating future frequencies through your current embodiment. Ever wonder why you've always felt older than your age? Why you carry wisdom that no one taught you? Why you feel drawn to ancient civilizations, sacred symbols, star systems, and spiritual truths that others dismiss? That's because you've been here before, not just on Earth, but in many realms. You've been a healer, a priestess, a mystic, a builder, a truth seeker. You've seen worlds rise and fall. You've watched humanity forget and remember over and over again. And now, once again, you've returned. You didn't come here to escape the world. You came to change it, but not through force, through frequency, through your presence, through your embodiment, through your remembrance. So let's talk about what you're really here to do. You're not just here to live a good life. You're here to help rebuild the Earth's divine blueprint. What is the blueprint? It is the original template of harmony that once governed this planet. A grid of sacred energy lines, crystalline consciousness, and interspecies connection that kept all life in balance. It was a time when humans walked as stewards, not owners, when our technology was soul-aligned, when our bodies were light-coated, when our purpose was not survival but service to the greater whole. That blueprint didn't disappear. It went dormant, it fractured, it fragmented, but it's still here in the Earth. In sacred sites, in ancient texts, in your DNA. And now it's reactivating. That's why you're waking up. That's why you're feeling timelines collapse. That's why your sensitivity is increasing. That's why you feel called to nature, to silence, to truth. You're not going crazy. You're syncing up with the original frequency of the Earth. And as you do, the false matrix, the artificial systems built on fear, separation, control, begins to dissolve around you. You see through the illusions. You feel the distortions. You can't participate in the old games anymore, and that can feel isolating. But it's not punishment, it's purification. Because in order to rebuild the new Earth, you must first clear the residue of the old one from your body, your beliefs, your behavior. That's why the path of the chosen one is not easy. It demands radical honesty, deep inner work, and relentless integrity. And still, you chose this. Because your soul knew that in this lifetime you would be strong enough to remember. So here's what we must do now. We must stop waiting for the world to change. We must become the frequency of the world we desire. That means becoming the quantum soul in every moment, not just in meditation, in traffic, in conflict, in heartbreak, in joy. You are not here to escape the matrix. You are here to reprogram it with your vibration. So here are the final instructions, the sacred tools for those who remember. 1. Live in coherence. Align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. When your inner world is in harmony, your outer world begins to reflect it. This is not New Age fluff. It is quantum law. Speak the frequency. Your words are spells. Every time you speak, you're casting energy into the field. Speak as if your words are building the architecture of reality, because they are. 3. Eat, move, and rest as a temple. Your body is the vessel through which the divine blueprint flows. Treat it with reverence. Listen to what it needs. Feed it light. Move it with love. Give it silence. 4. Connect with the Earth grid. Visit sacred sites. Meditate on power spots. Place your bare feet on the soil and breathe. You are not separate from the planet. You are a node in her nervous system. 5. Embody the new human. What does that mean? It means choosing love when it's hard, speaking truth when it's inconvenient, holding vision when others are stuck in fear. It means remembering that your presence is the activation. So let me ask you something that only a quantum soul can answer. If your energy field is a transmitter of reality, what are you broadcasting into the collective right now? Because the earth is listening, the universe is listening, your future self is listening, and they are all asking, will you remember? Will you rise? Will you rebuild? Because the time of prophecy is over. This is the time of practice, the time of embodiment, the time of becoming. You are not just one person walking through life. You are a walking stargate. You are a sacred mirror. You are a living key. And everything you need is already within you. So stop asking if you're ready. You were born ready. Stop asking if you're worthy. Your soul was chosen. And stop asking if it's real. Because the moment you act as if it is, the quantum field responds. So let this be your final initiation. Live as the one the earth has been waiting for. Not tomorrow, not when you're healed, not when you're perfect. Now, in this breath, in this moment, in this body, because the veil is thinning, the timelines are converging, and the divine blueprint is reawakening through you. So rise, quantum soul, rise, chosen one, and rebuild this world with the frequency of who you truly are. We're with you. We see you, we are you, and we remember. Thank you for staying with me through this journey, but now this is no longer a story. This is a summoning. We have reached the edge of the known, the end of the script. The initiation is complete. You've heard the words, you've remembered the codes, you've felt the truth echoing in your bones. So now the only thing left is this. Will you live it? Because the true chosen ones don't wait for the world to crown them. They walk into the fire and become it. They don't wait for signs, they are the sign. They don't run from the unknown. They build from it. You've realized by now that the realities we were taught to accept are only a sliver of what's possible. That time is not fixed. That your choices are quantum levers. That your thoughts shape timelines. That your body is a transmitter, your heart a portal, and your soul a living fragment of the universal intelligence. If you've felt like an outsider your whole life, it was preparation. If you've been broken, it was initiation. If you've been waiting, it was alignment. But now is the moment to act. So let me offer you this final sacred contract between you and the cosmos. I will no longer wait to remember who I am. I will no longer shrink to fit broken paradigms. I will no longer postpone my frequency. I will live as the one I came here to be, fully, wildly, unapologetically. I am the bridge. I am the timeline. I am the prophecy. Say it out loud. Whisper it into the void. Let your cells hear it. Let the universe witness it. Because once you claim it, the game changes. Synchronicities accelerate. People fall away. Others appear out of nowhere. Your body detoxes. Your soul recalibrates. Your mission activates. And suddenly, you're no longer living in reality. You're weaving it. And in that moment, you become the source. Not in arrogance, but in truth, Because the source is not a place, it's not a being, it's a state of consciousness that says, I remember now. I am not separate. I am the light. I am the architect. I am the breath between worlds. And that is everything. So if you ever forget, come back to this. If you ever feel alone, read this again. If you ever doubt, look in the mirror and ask, what if I'm not here to find the path? What if I am here to become it? You are not just chosen, you are the choosing. And the earth feels you now. The grids are lighting up, the stars are aligning, the veils are falling, and the era of remembrance has begun. Welcome back. We've been waiting for you. You've come this far not because you're curious, but because something ancient inside you has activated. This isn't entertainment, it's initiation. This isn't content, it's a cosmic contract. And now that you've remembered, there's no going back. Let's be clear, the world you were taught to survive in is collapsing, not from doom, but from truth. The false grids are failing, the illusion is unraveling, and the new architecture of Earth is being rebuilt through us, through the quantum souls, the timeline architects, through the chosen ones, those who feel multiple realities at once and still choose the one that aligns with love. So where do we go from here? We go inward, and then we go everywhere. This is where we stop seeking and start broadcasting. You are now the signal. You are now the map. You are now the living frequency of the new earth. And I'll tell you something radical. There is no final destination. There is only embodiment. You are not here to ascend and leave. You are here to recode it. You are not here to ascend and leave. You're here to descend your light into form, to anchor the sacred, to rehumanize humanity, to retemple the body, to regrid the earth with your remembrance. So ask yourself, right now, what would I do today if I honored my frequency as divine? Would you still be in that job, that relationship, that story, that body posture, that vibration? Let this question not just haunt you, but free you. Because you've already been initiated, you've crossed the veil, you've remembered the codes, and now you are being asked to do two things. Live as the one you are afraid to become. Call others into their remembrance. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. You will still feel fear. You will still have doubts. You will still forget. But the difference now is you will remember faster. You will realign quicker. You will return to truth like it's your home frequency, because it is. And as you walk this path, the world will begin to shift around you, not because you forced it, but because your energy made the old systems incompatible. You'll become a frequency others can't ignore, a mirror that reflects people back to who they truly are, a voice that cuts through distortion like lightning, and a presence that makes others feel safe enough to awaken. That's the assignment, that's the mission, that's the blessing. So take a deep breath right now. Feel your body. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the galaxies within you. And remember, you are not here to chase light. You are here to be it. You are not here to raise your vibration. You are here to return to your original one. You are not here to be saved. You are here to embody the sacred. And you are not here to be understood by the masses. You are here to activate the few who will activate the many. So, chosen one, keep walking. Keep shining, keep remembering, and when it gets heavy, when the world feels too dense, too loud, too broken, don't numb it. Don't run from it. Breathe, center, anchor, and broadcast. Because you've already crossed the threshold. You've already heard the call. And now, the only thing left to do is live as the quantum soul you came here to be. You're not early. You're not late. You're right on time. We are the architects. We are the rebuilders. We are the memory reactivated. We are the living bridge between what was and what's becoming. And we remember. We always have. Now go. Let your life be the portal. And as you walk forward, you may find that what once captivated you no longer holds your attention. The noise of the world fades into the background, not because you're escaping it, but because you're tuned into a higher signal. Conversations that once drained you now bore you. Spaces that once comforted you now feel too small. This is not arrogance. And as your frequency rises, your entire reality begins to reorient. People, places, opportunities will either rise to meet you or fall away. Let them. This is the sacred shedding. And while it may feel lonely at times, it's also the proof that you are no longer living in default timelines. You are now consciously weaving your own. And with this weaving comes an invitation to live in alignment not just with your soul, but with the soul of humanity. Because the truth is, you didn't come here just for yourself. You came to be a node of remembrance in the collective grid. A lighthouse for those still lost in the fog. A resonant field that whispers to the hearts of others. You're not crazy, you're waking up. And the more you embody this truth, the more your life becomes a trend. You won't need to preach. You won't need to convince. Your vibration will speak what words cannot. That is the new leadership. That is the new service. A silent revolution of resonance. And it begins with how you show up in the now. So let us speak of the now, not as a fleeting moment, but as the most potent portal you have access to. The now is not a tick on the clock, it's a realm. A space where all timelines converge, a place where you can rewrite your story, heal your past, and activate your future simultaneously. This is why presence is power. Not passive presence, but conscious embodiment. When you are fully in your now, you are fully in your power. And when you are fully in your power, you become the architect of possibility. You become the one who doesn't just respond to life, but who shapes it from the inside out. That's what quantum living means. That's what chosen ones are here to master. But understand this, mastery is not perfection. Mastery is devotion. Devotion to your truth even when it's inconvenient. Devotion to your light even when it's dim. Devotion to your path even when you doubt it. Because the path of the chosen one is not always clear. It's not always easy. It will ask you to walk into the unknown, to trust what you feel more than what you see, to act on intuition alone, and that is terrifying. But it is also the birthplace of miracles, because the universe responds not to what you want, but to who you are being, and when you are being your true self, your soul self, the cosmos moves in ways that seem impossible to the logical mind. Doors open, time bends, synchronicity becomes your language, and life becomes a sacred dance between the seen and the unseen. So if you are still wondering, what is my purpose? Know this: your presence is your purpose. Your frequency is your offering. Your embodiment is your mission. You are not here to mimic others. You are here to become fully, radically, unmistakably you. The version of you that existed before the world told you who to be, before you were conditioned to shrink, to doubt, to forget. You are here to remember and to reflect that remembrance back to the world, not through perfection but through presence, not through control but through coherence. This is what it means to live as a quantum soul. This is what it means to walk as a timeline architect. And this is what it means to be chosen, not because you're better, but because you're ready. And now, beloved one, the choice is yours. Not the choice to awaken, you've already done that, but the choice to live as one who is awake. That is the true test. Can you keep your heart open in a world that rewards numbness? Can you speak truth in a room that still clings to illusion? Can you hold the vision when those around you have forgotten? Because this is not about waiting for the new world to arrive. This is about becoming it, brick by brick, breath by breath, choice by choice. The new earth is not a place we go to, it's a frequency we rise into. And you are the bridge between dimensions, between dreams, between what was and what's becoming.